We got to move on to race 3
Yeah.
at Del Mar. Bottom level claimer. I mean, not real quality races going on opening day besides the Oceanside.
So
But
far.
so far, yes. And for me, this race, I mean, we got a field of 8 coming in here, and this race was tough for me. I mean, the whole entire day's card is tough for me. This is where it really came down to when I was pulling my hair out of my head, even though I really don't have any hair. But I was still capable of doing it, and I don't like betting these type of horses. My top choice in this race is going to be Guiding Hand, the Belvoir horse, who mainly he claimed this horse. First time off the claim, he's 31%. I mean, I couldn't ignore that. I'm real
Oh yeah.
skeptical on picking horses that are coming in from out of SoCal. This horse was raced at Pleasanton, claiming 10,000. Finished second, was the favorite. I mean, I don't like betting these kind of horses, but it's just this field isn't all that strong in my opinion. I think he's capable of at least finishing in the money. And with Victor Espinoza aboard, uh, Belvoir, with his percentage first off the claim, I mean, the horse 84 Beyer in his last race. That's not bad. I know he can handle the mile and the 16 distance after his mile and a quarter race. I mean, the question is, can he handle the SoCal horses? I don't know. Who do you like in this race?
Well, this is we've been similar today. Now, I didn't pick him actually as my top choice, but I will say I had a very, very difficult time picking a horse here. This isn't my particularly favorite race to bet as well, but we got to try to pick winners here. I don't know what this horse's odds will be. I'm hoping he may get a little price, but I picked Big Son of a Gun, ridden by Alonso Quinones and being trained by Robert Diodoro. He's a horse. I think he's gonna be okay here. Bottom level claimer. He ran for 16 last time I bet for Hollywood Park on Friday night. 17-1 that night, and he ran okay. He finished third. I watched the replay. He came up the rail pretty nicely, and the horse that beat him, Hasty Trend, ran an allowance race next time out. So maybe he was facing a little bit too tough for him, but I don't think he's facing a Hasty Trend type horse here, and maybe take a little bit of a chance here. Hopefully get some odds on him. He is 7 for 10 on the synthetic surfaces, so he's very aggressive. On these synthetic tracks, and at this distance, 5 for 6 in the money, won 3 times actually. So he's 50% at this distance. So this seems like a good spot for him, I think, too, because it's sort of a cheaper race, not the greatest quality, and I think this would be the time for him to pull off, hopefully, a little bit of an upset.
I mean, 78 Beyer in his last race, claiming 16,000, taking that extra drop in class. I could see why you would definitely take a horse like him. I mean, the one thing for me that I really didn't take him is, like you said, 7 for 10 in the money, but he hasn't won a race since, May earlier, and he's had plenty of opportunities in between then. I mean,
Correct.
3rd, 9th, 5th, 10th, I mean, that's why I shied away. He's just not in as good of a form as he was earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last year, I should say, just 2011, when he last won in May 13th, in a claiming 25 with Bejarano aboard. And I just couldn't pull the trigger on him. That was the one thing. These horses just aren't great quality lower claimers that
Yeah.
shine to me.
I mean, my second choice is Guiding Hand, and I'll tell you, the horse you like. The only thing the reason I couldn't pick him was because he's 0 for 5 on the synthetics. It's if you look at his running lines, he's run on the dirt 53 times. So obviously, either he's just at the right track, or people know that his synthetics isn't his game. He does well at the distance. He's 5 for 17. That's all right, but these synthetics, he's never won on a synthetic track before, so that was sort of why I steered away from him. And he hasn't won since June of last year, so I steered away. But I think that these horses, he's at the type of level where he'll be competitive anyway.
Yeah.
And he still has finished second on synthetic track, so it's not like he's never run a good race in his life on a synthetic track, but he's never won on one.
Yeah. And second choice wise for myself, I was stuck on two horses. Once again, I will strongly say this. I am so skeptical on betting horses that come in from out of the state. The one horse asset play for Cody Autry, coming in from the Midwest, I guess we can call it, from Oaklawn Park,
Yep.
Lone Star.
Yep.
And he's mainly here for the ship and win, obviously, to get that
Oh, yeah.
bonus.
Cody Autry, a new trainer here. He's a good trainer too.
Yes, I mean he's hitting at 26%. You can't ignore that. I mean the reason I picked this horse is mainly he's shown buyers that are capable. He can handle the distance. He's raced the distance twice. He's finished second twice. He's won at least once this year, and that was his last start. He was a big favorite against. I won't say it's similar because 12,500 at Lone Star is going to be something here at Del Mar that's probably 8,000 claimers. I guess I could try that's my best attempt at comparing it. So I would see this as a step up in class. But seeing how he's raced in higher claiming races in the Midwest, there's something about this horse. I just like him. I was between him and Nonsense with Jeff Metz and Martin Garcia, a horse that is 8 for 9 this year. 2 wins, 4 seconds, 2/3 in the money. That's a horse I really wanted to make him my second pick, but for some reason I couldn't pull the trigger on him. The main reason was he just hasn't raced well in his past 4 starts.
And he's 1 for 7 as well.
And yes, he's 1 for 7 and at the distance. He's raced on synthetics pretty much. He's 13 times on the synthetics. We know he can handle synthetics. But I'm taking the big risk in this race and picking horses that have really little to no success on the synthetic surface. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to take it. It's just that kind of race that, there's horses that they're just not really in good form. I mean, I see horses like Celestic Knight for Mike Mitchell and Julian Leparoux, who will probably be bet down as a favorite because that connection.
Right.
It's a horse that was great, won the El Cajon here last year at Del Mar, and then after that, coming off a layoff in May, the horse just wasn't the same. They raced him in a claiming 32,000. He lost by 15.5, and then they put him down into a claiming 8,000, and he lost by 22 lengths.
That day, the last race he ran, the half mile, he was in front, and he had run 45-3, which is sizzling, especially on the Betfair Hollywood Park surface. Yeah. Anywhere, 45-3 going a mile and a 16th is sizzling. But at the same time, obviously, after the El Cajon, he had a long break from September of 2011 to May of 2012. So obviously, there was something amiss there. But I looked at that, and I wasn't inclined to play him at all. I had actually looked at your second play, asset play. I had looked at him, and like you talked about, hasn't won on he's won once on a synthetic track, so he's done okay. At the distance, he's 0 for 2 winning, but he has finished second both times at that distance. So I could see where he'd win. Plus, he gets Corey Nakatani, and he's a very good rider, and that's a plus.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of Corey Nakatani. I'll throw an interesting fact, actually, about Corey Nakatani real quick. He used to be my grandparents' neighbors, and so that's a fun fact I guess I could throw out there when he had a house down here in Solana Beach. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm real skeptical on really betting horses that come in from out of the state. I mean, very rarely will you see them be successful. Even the top-notch horses that come in for graded stakes races, sometimes they just...
Well, we're welcome to have them.
Yes, we're welcome to having them down here. I mean, this is one of the races that I'm taking a big risk and taking these two horses. I mean, out of most of the races today, this is the one where I'm not real confident in my selections. But it's just one of those races where these are bottom level claimers, and they're bottom level claimers for a reason, and it's tough to really pick one horse that stands out.
Yeah.
So that's it for so far through the races 1 through 3. We're going to do another session for races 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to do a pick 4. So stay tuned for more of the Del Mar 2012 preview.